experience, are there many couples who are in good relationships but choose to sleep apart?
Oh, yes, there are. Absolutely. Yeah, many.
More
Many.
and more?
Absolutely, more and more. It's more acceptable to talk about it.
So, Chris, are you surprised by how many couples are choosing to sleep in separate beds to get a better night's sleep?
Yeah, I'm always surprised with it because I just think sleeping together is such a great relationship thing to do. They're losing that intimacy and time together and time to chat, etc. It always just surprises me.
And why do they make that choice?
For a number of reasons. I think, first of all, we all need adequate rest. Some people have illnesses or restless legs, they might have incontinence, they have some reason why they're restless at night and they need to get up and down. Firstly, they're worried about their partners getting enough rest, and second, they know that they just need to be free to move as they need to move.
Well, snoring's a big one. Kids, having young children coming into the bed, hours that people might work. You know, one might start early in the morning. Pets is a really big one. A lot of dogs in the bed. It's quite surprising with the dogs.
I find that, well, not really, because I reckon if I was out, the dog would be in pretty quickly in my house. So people, the dog's in and one partner's saying, if you want the dog, I'm out.
Well, it's usually the bloke that goes out, the woman likes the dog.
I'm not quite sure why the one who snores is often the one who stays in their bed and the other one seems to get out, except that apparently they're having the better sleep. And the other one's wide awake, so they tend to hop up and go and find another spot.
That is so true. My husband is such a snorer and he's like, go and sleep in the other bed. And I'm like, this is my bed.
I know, it's not fair.
Do you think couples are unaware of the pitfalls of once you choose to sleep in separate beds and what may come from that?
Yeah. Well, everyone thinks that it's going to be short term and then they'll come back together. But the coming back together doesn't seem to happen. Part of being human is that we're good at adapting. Even if it's not very, very good for us, we can still adapt. And I think couples adapt to that space.
Does it suggest there's anything wrong with the relationship?
No, I think actually it's quite the opposite. It's quite fresh, if you like, to hear somebody decide that they're going to make a choice to do something that goes against the grain, if you like. You know, traditionally people would just sleep together, and if they weren't, we'd all get a bit judgy and go, wow, why are they not together? They must be having a problem. But I think, you know, we're emotionally intelligent and we're able to express positively what we need and want, and that's received well, then couples can make really good choices for their relationship's sake.
Life has a way of taking us elsewhere, you know, constantly pressuring us to live separate lives. And it's once you start to get a wedge between a couple, it evolves.
So if you've got a partner who's snoring or an issue with the dog, you'd say work on the snoring, work on the dog.
Work on all the other issues first. Leave the separate bedroom as a last-ditch effort.
So if I felt like I needed to sleep apart from my partner, how would I broach that conversation in a way that they might be receptive to it?
We just need to have really good, healthy self-talk. So instead of saying, you know, this is how it should be, this is how my parents did it, this is what you must do, we decide to say things like, I choose it, I need it, I want it, I prefer it that way. And obviously it's a conversation, it's an ongoing one, we don't demand it, but it's something that we start to touch on.
Well, you've got to balance it out. It's like if you take money out of the bank account, you've got to put some back in. But often couples just take money out. So they just sleep in other bedrooms, but they don't seem to put back in terms of affection, intimacy, time together. You might do 4 nights in a separate bed and 2 or 3 together. Then that would work okay.
I've heard of people that are downsizing and they design a house so it has 2 main bedrooms and the ensuite's in between the rooms. So they're making a choice. So it's very much an opportunity mindset that we're looking for, where there's lots of options. Not a black and white way of being, but the world's very grey these days.